Well, when you think of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, what was once the NWFP, once named the NWFP, the most iconic image of that area that comes to mind is the one we've seen on PTV and on postage stamps for most of our lives, and that's the Khyber Pass and the Khyber Gate, known as the Bab-e-Khyber. Now, this in this issue cover story takes you beyond the Bab-e-Khyber into the tribal areas of Pakistan, but not from the militancy and war on terror perspective. It's rather a look at the sights and sounds and really the interesting landmarks of that area beyond the Bab itself, of course, which we all know very well. For example, there's the 100-room mansion of Haji Ayub Afridi, who was one of the biggest heroin smugglers and traffickers in this region. I mean, he was a CIA ally during the Soviet war in Afghanistan, and then subsequently was also an MNA in Pakistan, and then he was arrested. He served some jail time in the US and so on and so forth, and that's a very interesting place to take a look at. Then there's also a mosque which, legend has it, was built by Hazrat Ali. This is the Khyber Pass is the route that all invaders traveling from Afghanistan into the subcontinent have taken, and a couple have even, like Chandragupta Maurya, for example, even went the opposite route and in the British Empire, and of course NATO supplies now. Now, naturally, you can't cover that area without at least touching upon militancy, and in particular, but in this case what we've done is that NATO supplies for most of us living in the urban areas of Pakistan, or even in areas sort of removed from the actual routes themselves. I mean, there's just a headline, I mean, it's something we may feel strongly about, may not feel strongly about, but it's not something that affects us in our daily lives. But for people who live and work on the Peshawar-Torkham highway, it's really been a matter of life and death, because there's this one great quote from that story, is that whenever we used to, or this villager saying that whenever we used to hear of NATO supply going by, we used to pray that there was a blast, so that then we could go over to the downed oil tanker and steal some free oil for ourselves. There's also those people who are now suffering huge financial losses because people invested a great deal in this transit trade and made a great deal of money from it, and now they're hurting. But then on the other hand, it's a choice really between their lives and their lucre. So it's an interesting story.